Hello everyone, Frank Zanka with Destiny Aurora. Thank you again for all the donors that showed support this year. I appreciate everything. And we are finally getting to the closing stages of production. This is my final proof. In fact, everything is already printed. They're just waiting to assemble everything based on my approval of this box right here. The box itself came out pretty nice, wrapping still on. And it's about the same size as Dark Souls. It's about 12 by 12 and about 5.5 inches high. It's a little bit smaller than Massive Darkness if you've gotten either one of those this year. So we again, I apologize for the delays that your manufacturer in China has experienced, but we're just about almost there based on my approval of this. So let's jump right in it and we'll open it up and see what's inside. Okay, so here we go, the box itself. Let's take the wrapping off it. Kind of cut it a little bit so it'd be easy. Exciting stuff. All right. Wrapping off, and we'll immediately start. Taking off the cover came out nice. A little packing material. Alright. So it comes with 2 booklets. We have the missions book, which has 16 different missions in it, and the epic endings. The rule booklet, lots of pictures in here, so and then the stuff that you're probably looking forward to seeing, the miniatures. Make sure that's in focus. So we have 24 unique figures here, and take the cover off. So we have the ships. You have 4 ships. So you have the Coalition. If you've been reading the books, you have the Coalition are the blue, and then the Renegades are in the gray. This is actually Kunlor Thorn's ship in the books, the 86, and the Eden Fire, which is also in the books. And this is not in the books, this is Cerberus. So, but it will be in the future. And then, of course, the Destiny Aurora itself. You see the guns underneath, the Gatling guns underneath. The ship actually doesn't get those guns until halfway through the first book. Alright, and then you have 10 crew members for the Coalition and 10 to choose from for the Renegades. So you have, on the Renegade side, you have the 2 commanders, which in their case is captains, Kunlor Thorn and Denexia. So they're all unique. There's no duplication of figures here. So we have 1 engineer, and here's the second one. So Abok, and Nella, and then 2 pilots. So Dro, who's also in the second book, who has a date with Flibby, and Krellin Rain, who is a former Dreg. Grom, who's does weapons, and Abel Belager, who is also in the second and majorly in the third book. And then our communications officer, this is Trix, who is on the second and third books heavily, and she is the only thief in the game right now. And the doctor, he is the only medic that can heal people while they're engaged in battle, so he's pretty strong. Then on the coalition side, we have, they're not called commanders, well, they're called commanders in the game, but they're not called captains. They are inspectors because of the fact that they are the space cops. So this is Jace and Steven Straken. Then we have our weapons officers. So this is Rovana. Oh, I forgot her name, but she's pretty cool. It'll come back to me. And then we have our communications officer slash medics here, and this is X473. And Lenore, who everybody was really excited about her with the wings. They look good and they came out nice, and they're pretty thick. Our two pilots, B, and of course Flibby, who's one of our stars of the book. Yep, she came out nice even with the thin legs. And then everybody's favorite, Rolf, my space dwarf, who's of course the engineer of the Aurora. And then Quinn, my Gatling gun friend here. Alright, so that's it for the figures. And then here's all the punch boards, and I just want to basically tell you that the punch boards punch out very, very easily. So as soon as I take these out, they're just basically going to fall apart, which is great because you don't have to do this minimal amount of effort to get these things out. So these top ones are the landing zones on the map. Let's see here, you see how fast it comes out. So I might just take them out. And then you have wound tokens, and this is for these are if you're playing single player, and if you didn't get the expansion pack figures, these are the standees. It's going to be very heavy because of all the boards. I think it's like 10 pounds. So these are more standees. Make sure again it's in focus. And the end caps, which are the planets. The Renegades start at Port Saven, and the Coalition starts on Earth, and these are the two options for the mission planet. And here, these are going to fall apart immediately. Yep, there they go. Different map tiles. And you can see they look pretty good, and they're matte instead of being gloss, so it gives them more of a space feel. And you see there's just a bunch of them. Here's the some of the map tiles for the planet, and they just keep coming. There's a bunch. You're definitely going to get a lot of content with this game. Oops. Just take those out. And then here's some of the standees again. If you haven't, if you didn't purchase any of the expansions, we have some larger creatures, the troop transport, and these two are for the epic ending. Yep, there's more. Let's see how fast they come apart. Yep, you don't have to worry about the pieces, you know, sticking to the middle when you're trying to rip them apart and whatever else. You won't have any of that problem. And you know, the pieces, obviously these pieces aren't supposed to go together, but when you do the final map, but you can see how easy they do, how easy they come together. And then more of the standees, which again, if you ordered the other figures, then you won't even be using these. And some more rune tokens. Okay, and then you have these are two-sided. Everything's two-sided, but you have the Renegade side over here and the Coalition side here in case you turn any characters. If you put them in your brig and you turn them. Stealth tokens, radioactive tokens, stun tokens, etc. And then the 1s and the 5s are basically for your ammo, for your weapons and other items, and more items, pieces for the boards, and then search tokens, and again more of the rooms. And search items in space, which is salvage. And then death tokens, they have men on one side and female on the other. So when your characters are defeated, you'll put those down, and then other people can steal them and take them back to the brig. So you might want to don't leave your wounded on the battlefield. Again, more search tokens. Here's what they look like on the other side. So these are the canister or the crate tokens and the salvage in space. Yep, they're still going. You'll definitely have a lot of options. So these are the centerpieces we're getting into now. And again, more of the crate search tokens. And you see that these are double-sided. Where the other ones are not, as far as the map pieces are concerned. So the center ones both have two options. This is the security room. And just so you know, since it is kind of beveled on one side, when you're putting them together and you're using this side, try not to put the puzzle piece in this way. Put this piece in last. Put the center piece in last, because it'll fit right of them since it's beveled on this side. And again, here's another centerpiece. This is the prison. And this side is the cave, which this is a lot of fun. This is where the princess is back here, and there's a creature guarding the entrance. And these are damage tokens for the ship side. The ships and the humans have two different damage tokens, and money for purchasing things in between missions. And this is the zoo center tile, and this is the mining center tile. Oh, looks like we're getting down to the nitty gritty here. All right. Oops. Sentry tokens, data tokens, fire in case fire erupts in one of the rooms, and the center board here. This is the black hole. And on this side is the nebula. And again, this is already out. So let's take it out. All right, then on the bottom of the box is all the cards. So let's take the cover off of that. And here we have the ship cards. So it'll come with 4 ship cards. And the ships are 2-sided. So this is the Cerberus, and this is if the shields go down, you'll flip the card over. And the Hades, in this order, he has the finger, so there's the Eden Fire and the Aurora. This is for the standees, and of course the dice will come with 16 different dice. We usually use red for attacking and black for defense rolls. This small one, this is for the NPC side of things. Yeah, pretty good. Alright, and then I brought a little, knife so we can open these pretty quickly. And if you that wanna sleeve them or whatever, there is extra room if you want to put them here. And when you're putting the puzzle pieces back in the box, what I suggest is putting the 4 corner pieces in, and then the top pieces. We'll be doing the side pieces and then doing the center pieces last. So these are the upgrade cards. Let's take a look at these. And this is how you upgrade your characters that throughout the campaign. If you're playing a campaign and not just a single mission, you can upgrade your characters. You can create new pilots and things to that effect. So the game is really never the same. And this is your starting inventory cards. So they're practically all the same here. So you get 3 arc pistols and a sword and an emergency teleport device. Obviously, this is not all of them. So there's probably others in the other. All right, let's pop this open. We got there's 300 different cards in here and 300 tokens, so definitely plenty. In fact, we have artwork just about on everything, so the artwork was very expensive. Bounty cards, which I usually don't play test with until after somebody's played the game at least once, but it's very, very simple. All you do is you take one of the cards. Each player takes one card of the opposite faction and keeps it secret except from his partner, unless if you're playing a team game. And it gives you, if you wipe out that character, oh, there she is, Rika. If you wipe out that character, then you'll get that money to be able to use. Plus, it just adds an extra element to the game, which I find lots of fun. Going, oh, who is your guy? Who is your guy? Which is always fun at the end to see who you're after. Okay, so these are planetary location. Obviously, there's more of them. Okay, so these are the orbital location cards. So what you're going to do is the mission will tell you which ones you need, and the rest will be random. So, and you can see that it's pretty easy to read. I made sure that happened that way because I have some games that I'm like, can't read them. And of course, for our some of our donors have their names in the bottoms here, so make sure you take a look at that as well. But you're going to build the 9 pieces for the board, and then you're going to only use those 9 pieces and only use those 9 cards in the game when they ask for a random location. So here's your enemies cards. So when random enemies pop up, it'll tell you to roll a die to see how many pop up, and of course it scales based on how many players. Lots of fun there. And the creatures cards. So these are indigenous creatures that can pop up throughout the game, and again, these will be used as standees unless you get the expansion packs. And the expansion packs have all the individual creatures in them. Alright, and then these are the character cards, so we'll take Ulip out of there for right now. But it tells you what the faction is, and what their health are and everything else, and then this is their powers on the planet, and then if you turn it over, it's their powers on the ship when they're battling in space. So these are all renegades, and these are the coalition characters. And take the princess out of there. So okay, so these two are actually NPC characters. These are the 20 characters that come in the box, as far as figures are concerned. These two are actually NPC characters, but they're playable. You can actually play them as crew members if you want. Okay. Next things next. Alright, so world event cards. These are what you draw every at the end of every round, and different things can pop up. Extra fighters, security systems, earthquakes, etc. Alright. Now this weapons and gear cards are here. Some of these you could find on the planet, and some of them you cannot. So these are only to be used if you're purchasing upgrades and weapons and items on shore leave in between campaigns. That's the only time you'll use this deck. But again, there's some stuff in here that you cannot find through search items. Okay, so you have also of these. So if you notice, this is in the main core game, the crew members, this is their initiative. However, on the NPC cards, that's what all these are. These are all NPC cards, so it's more upgrade cards. Let's put these back here. So these has a 2, and this side has a 1. And you'll see that with almost every one. This is level 1, and this is level 2. So if you're playing a game where you want the characters, so the NPCs to be a bit harder, then you're just going to flip the card and use the stats on the back. Now with these, this is the epic ending side, so they don't have, there's just 1. But yeah, you can definitely scale this game to be as hard as you want it to be. Oops. Alright, last stack, which looks like search items. Make sure we're still recording. Alright, so these are the rest of the starting items. I told you there was more. Okay, I'm sitting there in here, so sure enough. Yeah, these are the blades. And that's okay, so there's the rest of what I was looking for there. Here's the search items. Bunch of stuff to find on the planet, including jetpacks, cloaking devices, and that should not be in there. All right. Okay, here's the rest of the planetary location cards I was looking for. Came in this pack. So as you can see, these all are designated to an individual piece of the board, tile piece, and you can see there's just a ton of them. And you'll do the same thing here with you do with this with the stuff in space, where you're just going to pick out 9. So the replayability is just immense. All right, salvage. These are cards to upgrade your ship. Remember that some of them can be booby trapped. So there's an explosion card in here that tells you what kind of damage you'll take if you do not scan them and you pick up a salvage item that's booby trapped. And the same thing happened on the planet as well. The planet, like here, the search items. Yeah, see, there's an explosion in here as well. So these 4 here are your reference cards. So it tells you how to combat, and really almost everything's on here. This is really how complicated this game gets. I know it looks daunting when you lay out all the boards, but it's actually pretty easy to learn. And these are all the mission cards. So there's 16 different missions here. So again, there's so much content. But this, I'm not sure where I put the, okay. So I know that some of this might get a little bit hard to read because down here it gets a little small. So what happens is you just, instead of reading the card, you can read straight from the book. So everything that's on here, there's more stuff in the book than is on the card, but it tells you what, there's the map pieces, this is the extra NPCs you'll need, etc. But this is more of a reference card for after you read all this, you can refer back to this. This also when you're choosing randomly, if you want to choose randomly, you can just pick a card out. So that is everything there, except for, now this, they sent me this pack as well for approval, but this is the tactical cards. Tactical cards do not come with the core game. This was, and is, you could buy separately, but it was with the Kickstarter. But you can also purchase this separately. And what these are, these attach to your commander, whether it's your inspector or your captain if you're playing Renegades. So I'm going to open these as well. Okay. All right, so there's 2 of these. One that's weapons and gear, and one that's search items. So what these are, you know, since the creatures are really cool, especially if you have the figures with them. So what this allows you to do is allows you to spawn a creature of your choice, and you control them. But whoever's holding this device has to be within a 4 range. 5 range, has to be within 5 range of the character using it. That's how far the creature can go out, and it's got to be within line of sight. And of course, they don't have all the hit points that they would have if they came out, but it allows you to basically play a creature, which is really cool. So there's 2 types of cards in here. There's orbital and planetary. So in other words, one you'll use when you're on the planet, and one you'll use if you're on the ship. So again, they connect only to your commander. So when your commander lands on the planet, you'll then use these. So you'll get 1 of each at the beginning of the game, and it allows you to do some cool stuff. Everything on the on the planet side just really requires the commander, and if he's giving orders or she's giving orders, then it'll tell you if there's any crew needed. But in this case, it's just any. Like you can have, if somebody tries to attack you, you basically can attack them first if you pass a leadership test. Let's see this. Perform a 6+ leadership test at the beginning of the turn. Players go in reverse initiative order for this turn. So they're pretty strong. But again, you have to keep track of, don't forget to use them if you have them attached. And then in space, they require a commander. The commander can also be the other character. So if your commander is sitting in navigation in the pilot seat, he could do both. But it says at the end of the round, descend to the planet's surface for free. So which is great because sometimes it's a race to get down to the planet to pick up your crew. Disrupt comms. Choose an enemy ship with a troop transport within range of the line of fire. The ship cannot descend to the planet's surface, that's again really good to have. You can hack people's shields. You could get extra bonuses if you're closer in combat. Orbital attack. You can normally attack the planet, attack ships stationed on the planet anyway, but with this one, make an attack against a docked ship and add 1 penetrating damage, which means they can't roll defense against it. Or you could actually target a creature or enemy commander with this card. So this is pretty strong. Here's a new type of reflector attack. Makes you, let's see, at the end of the turn round, make an additional free half movement. It's good stuff. So, plus the artwork on here is really cool. So anyway, that's the game. Lots of stuff. I'm waiting to see what everybody thinks of it and all of the scenarios that they come up with on their own. But I figured I'd show you the figures one last time. Plus, if you want, I can in a different video go through the other creature figures and all the other add-on figures that we're doing. In fact, I just in Vegas at our warehouse compiling all those for shipping out because I'm going to probably give approval on this, and then the final assembly will be done and we'll be shipping. So we're just about done. All right. So thanks everybody again, and again looking forward to it. So here is everything that it comes with. And it's just a pile of stuff. So you definitely will not be bored with this game. So again, look forward to hearing everybody's input and seeing all the cool stuff that everybody comes up with when playing this game. And I'm sure that you guys will come up with your own scenarios, which I'm really looking forward to hearing. And I'll of course be coming up with new planets and new characters and things to that effect for an expansion in the future. Alright, thanks again for everybody's support, and I will see you soon.